What if the Philippines was never colonized? What if our history took a completely different path? What if our indigenous cultures just kept growing without anyone from other countries interfering? Imagine the rich tapestry of traditions and customs that would have flourished. Where would we be today? How would our society have evolved? First, think about our identity. It's a fascinating concept. Without colonization, groups like the Tagalog, Visayan, and Ilocano might have become their own separate countries, or maybe joined together in a different way. Each group could have developed its own unique identity and governance, and our beautiful writing system, Baybayin, would probably still be used by everyone. Without Spain, we might not be mostly Catholic. Our spiritual landscape would be a mosaic of different beliefs. Indigenous beliefs, or Islam, which was already growing in Mindanao, might be the main religions. Our spiritual practices would be deeply rooted in our own traditions. Our spiritual lives would be very different, connected to our ancestors. We would have a profound connection to our heritage. Language is another interesting thing. It's the backbone of our culture. Without Spanish, Filipino languages would sound different. Our linguistic landscape would be a vibrant mix of native tongues. Tagalog, Cebuano, or maybe even languages similar to Malay might be more common. We'd mostly use our own languages, preserving our linguistic heritage. Our government would be totally different too. Instead of one country, we might be many smaller states joined together. Each state would have its own unique governance. Leaders from our own islands would be in charge, not people from other countries. Our political systems would be homegrown. We would have ruled ourselves from the very beginning. Our leaders would be deeply connected to our communities. Think about our economy. This is where things get really interesting. We might have traded more with China, Japan, and other nearby countries. Our economic ties would be with our Asian neighbors. Selling gold and spices could have made us a super rich trading center. Our wealth would come from our own resources. We would have made our own economic path, not following Spain or America. Our economic policies would be tailored to our needs. And what about the Spanish-American War? This conflict had a huge impact on our history. Without it, the US wouldn't have taken over. Our history would have taken a different turn. That means no American-style government, schools, or military. Our institutions would be uniquely Filipino. We'd be much less like the West, maybe more like Thailand or Indonesia. Our development would follow a different trajectory. A Philippines where our indigenous roots are stronger, our languages and traditions are kept alive, and we control our own future. It's a vision of a proud and independent nation. It shows how strong and resilient Filipinos are. Our spirit is unbreakable. What do you think? How do you imagine this alternate history? How different would our lives be? Let's ponder this as we celebrate our amazing history and heritage. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep exploring the possibilities.